we talk about the music, YSL and the snitching and all that. Does this conversation come up, Stan?
So, so snitching is a very interesting thing, right? So I get the whole idea, like, all right, you chose to do this crime, right? You chose to do this thing. We're all in it together. You can't tell on me when you get caught. I get that, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But then it trickles down into the culture, right? Where I get a kid that comes to my office, right? And he says, Stan, there's a couple of students that are talking crazy to me. And I feel like I'm in danger, but I don't want to snitch. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you are in danger, right? You are in danger. Your parents sent you to Grady High School. They expect you to be safe.
Yeah.
You're not in a street situation. You're supposed to be in the safest place possible right now.
Yeah.
I gotta keep you safe. This is not snitching. So I gotta rebrand snitching. This happens every year. I give a whole presentation on what exactly is snitching.
For real?
Yeah, I have to. Because the ninth graders come in, remember they're eighth graders, right?
Yeah.
So they're impressionable, they buy all this stuff.
Big time.
They buy all this stuff. They believe in all of this nonsense. So they come in and they gotta be reprogrammed. They gotta be retrained in terms of how to deal with high school, because you don't know how to do high school yet. I gotta show you how to do high school. So you come in, all that culture that you're from, that's dead.
Yeah.
Right? We gotta slowly kill that, but it takes a while. It takes a while.
Yeah. Another thing I try to show the kids, because I like to call them by their last name. Like I call them Mr. Johnson or something. Mm-hmm. I had a teacher do that to me when I was in Boys and Girls. Made me feel like I was respected. But now when I do that, yo, you the feds, you the FBI, because they government. And like our youth are taking on they default to being like an assumption of criminality.
Yes.
You ain't a criminal. You ain't got to worry about anything. And there's this talking about snitching and not snitching. I would challenge them to be in a position where you ain't got to worry about snitching.
Now, going back to my brother's keeper, right? If we're creating communities of young men that see the power in not being like that. See, they don't know. Yeah. See, the young men that I have that are part of my brother's keeper, when we go to these conferences, you have every school from Brooklyn South in the building. Mm-hmm. Everybody is in the building. So we're all sitting there, and it's like about 7 or 8 young men per school. Mm-hmm. So you got about 100 of us. And we're having deep conversation. We're talking about impactful, important things.
Yeah.
And they're doing activities and they're getting to know each other. They've never seen nothing like that before.
No.
If we're putting our young men in spaces, right, that counter that, right, then we're doing
that
good
criminal
work.
Element, yeah.
But just talking to them about it, that's not their day-to-day.
Yeah.
Right? But when we put them in these different spaces, then they see the power.
For sure.
Right? Because what they respect is power on that side.
Yeah.
They respect that street power.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's another power that they're not being exposed to. Mm-hmm. Right? So I definitely think anybody that works inside of a school, if you are, you should definitely get down with my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper. It's definitely an amazing movement. It's new.
How you do that? How do you get it down?
So most schools have it. Right? Most schools have it. I know all of Brooklyn South has it. I don't know about Brooklyn North. Okay. But I know all of Brooklyn South has it. So if you speak to your principal about it, most principals have to answer for it because the superintendents are putting pressure on the principals. Like when they have their principals meetings, they're like, so how my brother keeper going? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, they got to say something. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely something that if you are looking to make a bigger impact, find out who the ambassador is and team up and work. And it's not like there's a limit. You can have as much as 100 kids. I have 30 kids that are part of mine, right? Do all 30 show up for every meeting? No. But we have a presence on campus every time. We have a presence. Mm-hmm. And when somebody says, I'm my brother's keeper, they know what comes with that.
That's what's up.
Also started the Black Student Union at Grady, because I was part of the Black Student Union at Brooklyn College. And I know how impactful that was in terms of having conversations like these.
Yes.
Because it's not happening in the classroom necessarily. It's not happening in the auditorium, and it's not happening in the lunchroom. It's not going to happen in the gym. We got to create the spaces for conversations like this to happen.
For sure.
So when we get together and we having our meetings, as the Black Student Union, we're having these deeper conversations about Black culture and about the changes in terms of young people of color.
Yeah. That snitching stuff though, Stan, like that is getting crazy. And I try to tell the kids like, yo, I don't even have anything to snitch on. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't no square. I go in my neighborhood, those people say what's up, those people say what's up. You gotta, again, you talk about leadership, policing yourself. There was time I'd be in the park and people playing basketball, and then after a while I see a whole bunch of people congregating and nobody's playing basketball. Well, it's time for me to go now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they understand that their teachers, many of the teachers, had to survive those same places.
Yeah.
It's about putting yourself in the right predicament.
You know, hip hop culture is probably, and it's so weird, but hip hop culture is probably one of the only cultures where the older person's voice, the elder's voice, is not respected.
Boom.
Right? So here it is. I'm from the same neighborhood as you, right? And I survived it, and I have all these stories and all these skills that I've accumulated over the years, and I'm sharing it with you, and you're like, come on, man, you ain't hip, old head. Get out of here, because you're not hip.
Yeah.
Right? You're not cool enough to tell me about anything, right? Yeah. So it is a challenge.
Only in hip-hop culture. You're right.
Only in hip-hop culture.
Thank you for checking out that clip. To watch the full episode, click the link to become a YouTube channel member. And don't forget, you can cancel at any time.